Good evening, everybody. I'm Jeff Isom, Director of Sales and Training for Nikon North America. And we are joined together this evening with one objective as part of Club Pura Vida. Bienvenidos a todos. Our objective for being part of this club is to work together and to leave no man, to leave no woman behind, for all of us to work together to meet the requirements. And there's some work that will be necessary to meet the requirements, but it is not necessarily an overwhelming amount of work, especially if you approach this goal, this achievement, from the perspective of something that you do a little at a time over the course of an entire year. Not something that you do in a month or two in a mad, hurried dash or rush, but something you do a little bit at a time over the course of a year. And it's not only possible over the course of that year to join Team Ambassador for 2027 and to become part of that group, but also to significantly grow your business, to significantly increase the amount of volume you're doing, the income that you are generating, the number of rank advancements that you have in your group, the number of team members that you are helping to move up into leadership roles, the customers that you're connecting with Nikon products. A lot of great things can happen. I think many of you have seen this video by now, but I want to show it to you again just to create a little inspiration at the front end of our meeting and remind you of what it's going to be like being together in Costa Rica.
There is a luxury that cannot be bought. It's the feeling of time finally slowing down to meet you. Here, the horizon doesn't just move, it breathes. From the mist of the Monte Verde cloud forest to the raw, untamed heartbeat of the Osa Peninsula, the most biodiverse place on Earth, experience a culture that honors its roots. Sip world-class coffee in the Central Valley and taste flavors grown just steps from your table. Walk the iconic shores of Manuel Antonio, where the rainforest literally spills into the Pacific. This isn't a race to the finish. It's a return to what matters. Health, connection, purpose. Costa Rica isn't just a destination. It's a blue zone, a place where well-being is the local currency. Costa Rica, come home to yourself.
So worth working for? I think so. I think it's going to be an amazing experience that we will have together. I really am looking forward to the chance to be in one of these locations, one of these places in the world that is a blue zone. Many Mediterranean climates, the island of Okinawa, actually Loma Linda in California, which has a large community of Seventh-day Adventists who live by a certain health code. A lot of these places around the world where people really focus on health, on community, on movement, on good nutrition. They have amazing results. These are places called blue zones. People live to 100 plus. Costa Rica is one of those places. It's not uncommon for people to reach old age as they live a life with meaning and purpose. And it's going to be awesome because we are definitely about those concepts, those ideas as part of the Niken family. Tonight, what we want to focus on is the idea that motivation is not going to be enough. Identity is what's going to win. And we want to establish the identity of a team ambassador. We want to establish the identity of someone who is committed to their Niken business and to making this result, this outcome happen. So these are some ideas we're going to focus on tonight. We want to talk about our end in mind tools and see how you're doing on that. Vision board, dream chart, your life cycle plan. We want to set monthly targets. If you haven't done that, we're going to communicate about that a little bit. We're going to talk about, and this is our main idea we want to focus on, of our 7 concepts that we went through last time, and we'll revisit and review the 7 concepts again. But the idea of identity and forming that through the daily power hour, this hour that you commit to your business, 1 hour a day, setting aside an hour to a day where television and social media and other kinds of things take a back seat to working on your Nikken business, and then reconsidering the idea of an accountability partner and seeing if that's something that you have, something that you're currently working on. So I'm just curious, and if there's 1 or 2 people who would be interested in sharing, have you started working on, or are you using an end in mind tool currently? Either a vision board, a dream chart, a life cycle plan, that you've added images to that represent joining Team Ambassador or being a part of this group that goes to Costa Rica in 2027. This visual tool is a great way to constantly be reminding yourself of why you're connected to this important aspect of your life, this idea that's part of your mission, your purpose, part of your why. Has anybody been updating or currently using a visual tool on a regular basis? Somebody want to share with the group how that's been going? Gloria?
Good evening. Yes, I always make a new life cycle vision board in January. And this whole corner, I know it's not clear on the video, but this is platinum. This is Costa Rica. This is take it up a notch. This is being recognized at Boss because my date is August 30th. So I'll be ready for Boss Platinum, and August 30th is on here. So the rest of it is prayers, and I've taken up watercoloring to calm my brain down. So yeah, it's in front of my desk. I'm looking at it all the time. And to be honest, with all the years that I've had fun with Nikken, I have never wanted to take a trip. This is the one.
Yeah, it's going to be so much fun. Our 52nd year as a company, and in an amazing location. I have been to San Jose, the capital. I have not been out into the countryside. I've not been out into the beaches, the rainforest, the mountains, the waterfalls. And that's going to be amazing to see. I love, Gloria, that you have divided it kind of up into targets or goals. And so August, right, is one of those horizons. And how amazing will it feel good to know by early fall that, yeah, I've kind of locked this in. I've worked this for 7, 8 months, and I've kind of made progress. I see Sue Gruber is on with us tonight. Trust me, Bob and Sue Gruber know where they're at throughout the entire year. They're tracking. And Bob and Sue Gruber basically know by the time they get to August how things are going, because they're working towards 100,000 miles. So that's fantastic that you have those kinds of plans and that you've mapped it out on your life cycle plan that way. Miranda?
Yes, I forward my vision board to you, I believe, Jeff, in a PowerPoint, because that way I can carry it with me either on my computer or on my cell phone like that. And anyway, there's a place for it in Costa Rica as well as my other goals. And I'm really new here, but the really interesting thing is I have friends that just mentioned to me out of the blue Costa Rica, like last week. Do you know these people in Costa Rica? And I'm like, really? I was just blown away. So anyway, meditating on those things and then taking action and making a goal chart on Excel. Thank you.
We talked about that idea in The Answer, written by John Asseroff. It's like the more you start thinking about something and focusing on something, it just starts to appear in your life. You start to see it, you start to become connected to it. It starts appearing over and over again. So it doesn't surprise me at all that when you start thinking about it, friends happen to bring it up. There are reasons why, we are connected to the universe in interesting ways and to each other in interesting ways. Barbara Richmond.
Thanks, Jeff. Um, yes, I've used vision boards and manifesting in the past. Got away from it a bit, but one of the first things I did in preparation for Costa Rica was to do a new vision board, and it's the first thing I see when I awaken each and every morning. And I pass by the vision board probably at least 20 or 30 times throughout the day because it's my living situation right now is challenging. So I it's right in my path, no matter what I'm doing, no matter where I'm going, but it's the first thing I see in the morning. And I've been to Costa Rica, I've been to San Jose, and I've been to the west coast of Costa Rica. And I can't wait to get back to that beautiful country and the beautiful people.
Barbara,
It's
thank you
it's
so much.
always been on my on a goal of mine to go back.
Thank you. Pam.
Mm. Yes, thanks, Jeff. Well, we upped ours. Okay, we've been blessed enough to be Team Kaizen and Team Ambassador. The trips are fabulous. The camaraderie, the family feeling of them are just the best. We have not been to Costa Rica. And that was extra exciting for us, as much travel as we tend to do. And we wanted to go. So this was just laid right in front of us. We changed our vision boards. We have pictures in the office. We have it on the copy machine. We have it on the whiteboard. We have it in the car. I mean, everywhere where I put my makeup on, right there is a picture. It's Costa Rica on the brain for sure, and to meet more people, help more people, and that's what it's about. So it's we're gonna go after that 100,000 plus.
Pam, thank you so much. This is the purpose or a purpose of this tool is to make Costa Rica a part of your identity. You are a person who is going to Costa Rica in 2027. Um, I made a decision that I was going to get a master's degree, and it almost killed me. But I did it. I did it. I finished it. And I had on my life cycle plan, I have a master's degree, and it became part of my identity. It became something that was not going to happen. It was just a matter of when. It became something that became part of who I was. And using a life cycle plan or affirmations is a great way to make this part of your identity, where it's just at your core. It is something that describes who you are. Something fun before we get to the numbers, because we are going to go over numbers. I'd like you to write in the chat 3 words Costa Rica 2027 represents, and then put 3 words. So, like freedom, health, leadership, family, consistency, fun, excitement, community, togetherness, achievement, accomplishment, joy. Right? 3 words. You can just write the 3 words if you want. Costa Rica 2027 represents. And in the chat, health, freedom, independence. Thank you, Bayla. Freedom, health, community. Very nice. Consistency, adventure, health, others, fun, joy, meaningful. Community, winning, growth, leadership, team, growth, lifestyle. Thank you, Mary. Exciting, accomplishment, fun, abundance, satisfaction, financial independence, achievement, tribe. I like that word. Rejuvenation, consistency, joy, fun, true connection with nature, success, freedom, relationships, adventure, accomplishment, community. Very cool. Lots of fantastic emotions, feelings, ideas that will come from this experience. So one of the things that we want to do at the beginning of each month, and I really encourage you to make a commitment to be here at the beginning of every month. Um, we have 33 of us, and if all of us go and we take one person with us, or we take two people with us, even better, that's 100. That's 99. If all of us go and we take two people, two team members, family member, and somebody else in our group, that's 100 people. That would be awesome. But something that really must happen on a consistent basis is we do need to talk about the numbers. We do need to talk about the requirements. So PPV, PGPV, and miles. Those are the three areas that we need to be aware of. So if you remember the requirements, 5,000 PPV, divide by 12, divide by 11. If you have a calculator or use the calculator built into your computer. For one winner, 60,000 PGPV. For two winners, 100,000 PGPV. And both people must be on the distributorship. You can't have one person, you, on the distributorship and then just take another person as a guest if you do 100,000. Both individuals must be on the distributorship. So 60,000 for one PGPV, 100,000 for two. You can divide by 12 or divide by 11. If you know your numbers from January, you can subtract that and then divide by 11 and then accumulate 1,000 miles, 50 miles per achievement. So newly sponsored consultants with purchase, 50 miles per download rank advancement, senior and above, and it can be the same person. 50 miles for your personal rank advancement, and then 50 miles for every 3,000 points of retail PGPV. At least 30% of the 60,000, so one third, 20,000 needs to be PGPV. A lot of people do more retail volume. People who do lots of retail volume pick up a lot of points this way. 50 miles for every 3,000 points of retail PGPV. So what I'd like you to do, and I'm going to ask you to share these in a group. I'm going to put everybody in a group and I'd like you to just share your numbers with each other of what your goal is for February. It's a shorter month. There's no right or wrong. If you see yourself ramping up over the year or ramping up to summer where you're achieving more volume in the summer, that's okay. But figure out what kind of works for you. If you want to just split it up kind of evenly over the months and make up a following month if you need to, that's okay. But write your PPV target, 5,000 if you divide by 11 or 12, PGPV divided by 12 or divide by 11 and then your miles, how many miles for this month. And I'm going to ask you to just share with your group. And if you're unsure about this, listen to people in the group share what their numbers are, what they're working towards in February. If you want to share what you achieved in January, you can. You obviously don't have to, it's up to you. But if you want to share your February targets, and if you're kind of unsure what numbers you're going to set, maybe listen to the members of your group share, and that might give you some ideas for the future. So I'm going to go ahead and put you in rooms. I'll leave you in your room for about 6 minutes. There'll be 4 persons per room. So hopefully the 6 minutes is enough time to kind of brainstorm, talk, discuss, and get a sense of what might be good targets for this month of February to work on for PPV volume, 5,000 total over the year, PGP volume, 60 or 100,000 total over the year, and miles, 50 per accomplishment, 1,000 total over the year. So everybody ready to go into their room? Just click join when you see the prompt and have a discussion about February and setting targets. Okay, join your group. Shirley, I'm going to put you in room one. There you go. Yoko, Mary, Solange, if you want to join your rooms. Solange, Mary, Yoko, do you want to join your room? Leo is all by himself. Okay. Solange. Vous pouvez voir le... Mary, I'm
Hey
going to
Jeff,
ask you
my
to...
computer died. I was supposed
Okay.
to be in room two.
Solange. Okay. So, hey, everybody. So, this is really important to decide these targets for your month of February. So, as I was mentioning, if you've not done a lot of volume or a lot of work at this point, you could decide 5,000 points. That's the volume that you need for PPV. And you could divide by 11 and you could set your target for 450, 500 ppv. Very doable. So 500 personal points of volume that comes from your personal purchases or any retail sales that you do. So anywhere between 450, 500 points would be a great target. For PGPV, you need to do a total of 60,000. So if you didn't generate a lot of volume in January, that's okay. Around 5,500 points of group volume. So that's not just you working, that's also your team. That's also anybody in your group who is working. 5,500 points of group volume that's generated by your team. And then looking at miles, you need to have 1,000 miles. So if you divide by 11 months, you'd need basically to accomplish two tasks this month. So you could sign up two new consultants. You could sign up a consultant and have a rank advancement, have someone rank advance from direct to senior, senior to executive. You could have one person rank advance from direct to executive. That would cover it for you for this month. So it's very doable when you break it down to a month by month basis to kind of see where you're at and what you might want to do. But you definitely want to write down these targets. So write down these targets that you're going to be working on for the month of February. And then you want to track. You want to track how things are going, the accomplishments that you're making, what achievements are happening as you go through the month, and just kind of keep track of what you're accomplishing, what you need to work on, how things are going throughout the month of February. This is a slightly shorter month, but it's very doable to accomplish all of those things that we that we just laid out. So we're going to give our folks who are in their small groups about 2 more minutes, and then we'll invite them to come back with us. If you want to write down the numbers that you are considering for the month of February, you could write those down, make a note of those. That will be helpful as you move through your month. Everybody will be back in just a minute. I hope you had a good conversation, Barb and Jeannie, with your group. Everyone will be back with us in about 20 seconds.
Jeannie was right in the middle of telling us the story and then got cut off.
No,
Uh,
I hit the join button instead of the wait button or whatever. So
oh, maybe you all came back early. Sorry about that.
I came back early. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry about that. It was a
Welcome
good
back, everybody. Sorry, Jeannie, I cut you off this time. Welcome back, everybody. So I got out my calculator while everybody was gone because I have to do something. I got to find something to do. So I talked to the people watching the recording. That's what I did. And I got out my calculator. And you know what? 5,000, excuse me, yeah, 5,000 ppv divided by 11. So this month, 450 ppv, very doable. That's your own personal purchases. Your own auto ship is included in that. And then any retail sales. So you sell one waterfall and you're good to go. It's not overwhelming. If you look at the next one, PGPV, 60,000, and we divide by 11, 5,400, 5,500. This is not just you working alone, though. This is you and anybody who's in your team, any of the volume that's being generated in your team. This is still doable. If you're working through a month and you're spending a little bit of time each day, 5,400, 5,500 is not overwhelming. And then I finally went and I looked at the miles, 1,000 miles. And if we divide by 11, 90 miles. So two activities, two new consultants who make a purchase of 100 ppv or more, just two new consultants, or sign up one new consultant and have one person who rank advances from direct to senior, and you're good for the month on your miles. Or maybe you have one person who rank advances to executive, rank advancing to senior. That's 50 miles, senior to executive. That's 50 more miles. That's 100 miles. You've met the minimum. Again, these are targets. These are targets that you're working for. Did anybody have anything interesting, any ahas, any good moments in setting your targets for the month that you want to share with the whole group? So hopefully you were able to write your goals down. So hopefully you've written down now what those targets are for the month. And you definitely want to track. You maybe don't have to do this daily, but maybe at least weekly. You want to track your progress and see how things are going in terms of your progress in each of the three categories as you work towards the 450, 500 PPV, as you work towards the 5,500 PGPV. And again, I'm basing this on 11 months, not on 12. Most of you are working in the month of January, so it may not be that much. And 100 points at minimum that you want to accumulate this month. Tracking throughout the month is important. So there is a key that people have been using that I've been aware of since we started the Daily Power Hour last fall that has allowed them to rank advance to silver, to gold, to create expansion in their business. And this has to do with not getting caught up in a certain kind of trap, and that's mood-based action. You do not want to ask yourself or let your brain, which tries to avoid expending energy or discomfort. That's what's so enjoyable about lying on the couch and just eating sushi that came from DoorDash is we don't have to expend a lot of energy and it's really comfortable. But you don't want to let your brain ask yourself, do I feel like it today? Do I feel like doing this today? Um, if it depends on motivation, you might start and stop. You might work for a week and then quit for a week. You can overthink it. You wait for perfect timing, and there's really never a perfect time. You make big pushes and then fade. Pressure and inconsistency is the result. And that's if it depends on motivation. We don't want it to depend on how we're feeling. Do I feel like it today is a bad strategy? A better strategy is to create an identity, is to create an identity where you are someone who shows up. You show up even if you might not feel like it. You protect the habit, the consistency of investing in Nikken, in your Nikken work, your entrepreneurial endeavor each and every day. You do the work first, you stay steady through life. This creates calm and predictable progress. And it's absolutely possible to create amazing results over time when you do this. So we have 28 days, and a tremendous amount can be created over a 28-day period, certainly over a 365-day period, when you're making small investments each and every day. It doesn't have to be done in 8-hour or 10-hour periods. It can be done a little bit at a time. So identity removes the daily negotiation that could come up when it can become just part of who you are. I don't decide every day, I show up every day. And this sometimes requires changing your language. So rather than do I feel like doing Nikken today, rather than using that kind of self-talk, you might say, I'm the kind of person who runs my business daily. They're identity statements that you can use. I do my power hours 6 days a week. I keep promises to myself. I follow up with care and with consistency. It's really shifting your mindset to being someone who makes a choice or does something when you want to, or it feels good, or it's enjoyable to this is something I do. I have to assume that this is true for everybody with brushing your teeth. It's just part of your identity. That's who you are. It's something that you do consistently. There's not a discussion. Can you think of something in your life that fits into this category? For some people, it's going to church. That just happens. They go to church, mosque, synagogue, they just go. It's not something they have a discussion or an argument or they just show up. It's part of who they are. For some people, volunteer work is like this. When they're asked to do volunteer work, they're there. They just enjoy giving service. They like volunteering. For some people, I'm trying to become this person, it's exercising. So I've done the gym 6 days a week, every single week this year so far. Yay, yay me. So I'm trying to create that as my identity. You know, Stephen Covey used to say 21 days. You do 21 days and something becomes a habit. And what I've learned through my research is that's kind of true, but not entirely. It starts to become less, more comfortable at the point of 3 weeks, but it really takes about 2 months. It takes about 2 months of consistent behavior for something to kind of become part of who you are. So whether it's flossing your teeth or practicing the piano, studying Duolingo on a regular basis, it takes some investment over time to make that happen. What's something in your life that is part of your identity? It just happens. You don't have arguments with yourself. You don't have discussions. You just do it. Barb Satterwhite, it's the Memorial Day, the Memorial Day celebration. Is that true, Barb?
Yes, this will be our 36th year.
Can you imagine not doing it?
No, that's why I'm coming back early from Team Ambassador trip.
Barb is going to Cancun and she's coming back a day early because it's part of her identity. Part of her identity is that she celebrates with her family, her friends, her community at their Memorial Day celebration on the coast, right? Jeannie,
My, I grew up, my mom always taught me to wash my face at night, wash all the makeup off if you have makeup on, even if you don't, and moisturize. And I still do that. I can't go to bed without it. I don't care how tired I am.
and you have lovely skin. You have
Yeah,
really lovely skin.
thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so surprised when Nikon consultants tell me their age, if they do tell me, because I'm like, no, you're not. You're
You're
not.
lying.
Yeah. But it's a great habit, right? And that consistency, which is part of your identity, has created results that you want. Dr. Karen, Dr. Willens.
Yes. So I do something like Barb does. I have identical twin daughters, and they had to share everything growing up, and I wanted them to have their own identity. And so I asked myself, what is it that is unique to them? So every year on their birthday, I call the one who was born first at 10:34 a.m. and the one who was born second at 10:42 a.m. They have been waiting for my call all year.
That's really lovely. That's just an amazing thing for a mom to do for a child, for twin children. That's really awesome. But that's part of your identity, and not doing it, you can't comprehend or imagine not doing that. It's part of who you are. Randy Rolfe.
Yes, well, my husband and I celebrate our anniversary on the 15th of every month. And that's just what we do. It's part of our marriage.
That's so cool. I love that. Why wait? Why do it once a year, right? You get to do it
I'm going to
12
put that on my
times a
life cycle
year.
plan.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. So over a decade, over a 10-year period, it's 120 really special, enjoyable moments of connection and love and joy. Randy, I love that. Thank you. And you can't imagine not doing it, right? It would just, the month would
No,
not be
no. We
complete.
wake up in the morning, it's happy anniversary. And
Yeah,
then we usually have share a bottle of champagne and special dinner and stuff.
that's fantastic. Randy, thank you so much. This is what we want. So this is the sense, this is the feeling that we want to connect with the idea of a daily power hour. A daily power hour, if you have not done one, is really simple. It's just committing to doing your business for 1 hour a day. And this may not sound like a lot, but over an entire month, if you're doing a daily power hour 5 or 6 days a week, and I would recommend a minimum of 5 days, maybe six. It's up to you. Most people choose to take one day off a week. So if you have a day of rest or you have a day where it's family day or you're focused on spiritual things, you can do that. But if you can do 5, 6 days a week over an entire month, it's a significant amount of time. And what you do in a daily power hours, you divide the hour up into five components. You start with your mindset, you look at your life cycle plan, you read affirmations, you do some journaling, you have an uplifting, inspiring conversation with somebody. You spend 5 minutes of planning, and you absolutely want to do this. You want to plan out how you're going to invest the majority of your time contacting people, sharing a certain promotion or activation special, following up with people, which specific people. 5 minutes. 5 minutes is a significant amount of time to plan and to kind of make some decisions about how you're going to use your time. 25 minutes of contacting. So this is reaching out to new or existing people, contacting them, having a conversation, asking them how they are, letting them know about things that are going on, sharing ideas, things they might be interested in, letting them know about the business. 25 minutes of following up. So usually within a 24 to 72 hour period after contacting someone, it's good to do a follow-up to ask them if they've had a chance to look at the materials you shared with them or to share some new materials with them. Ask them if they've made a decision or if they need more information. And then a final 2 minutes to celebrate doing your power hour. And this can be giving yourself a high five, giving somebody a hug, playing with your dog for 5 minutes, 2 minutes. Your dog is going to want more than 2 minutes. Making yourself a cappuccino and enjoying that, having a lemonade. It can be something that makes you feel good. Mixing yourself a KVB shake. You want to do it if possible the same time daily, or at least have kind of a routine. If your mindset is in the morning along with planning and you do contacting mid-afternoon and following up in the evening, you can spread it out throughout the day, but kind of having some type of a schedule often is helpful. And if it extends longer than an hour, that's fine. This is a minimum. This is a minimum amount of time. You definitely want to have a written contact list or a digital contact list before you start. You don't want to do multitasking, so having the television on, scrolling social media at the same time is probably not a good idea. A quick debrief when you finish, looking at the outcome and the next step. No list, no planning. Probably not a good idea to start your power hour. Make sure that you have listed out what you're going to be working on, what you're going to be planning. Otherwise, it can be easy to just do an hour of social media posting and say, oh, I work my business, without actually reaching out, contacting, connecting with somebody. The benefits, more conversations, more follow-ups are completed, more customer care, more event invites, whether it's to an empowered living, to a balanced life, happy life presentation, a brand night presentation, steady progress without panic. So I have heard amazing stories. Maria Isabella Vidrio, who is one of Martina Quesada's consultants, she was really surprised when she went silver. Martina told her she had enough volume to go silver. It took her 1 month, the month of August, to go silver. And she just did a power hour every day. That's it. She just did an hour of investment each day in a power hour. And at the end of the month, she was silver. And then she decided to do it again in November and she went gold. So it absolutely does create results. And you can do a power hour yourself. You can also teach others in your team, others in your group to do a power hour. It's important that you protect the chain of the power hour because you want doing your Nikken business on a consistent basis to be part of your identity, not something you do for a few days and then don't do for 2 weeks. So three rules: schedule it. If it's in a similar time period, that probably works best for most people, so it's not as random. Make sure and make your list, do your planning, and never miss twice. You don't want to miss twice. If you get a calendar and you put an X on your calendar, a red X, that's helpful. The problem with missing twice is you're starting a new habit, and the new habit is not doing your Nikken business. If you get sick or an emergency comes up and you miss a day, that can happen. I got food poisoning on like a Friday morning. I ate some bad chicken. Yeah, I did. And I felt horrible that day. And I said to ChatGPT, I feel horrible. I'm not going to go to the gym. And it's like, this is okay. This is not your identity. You can, make it up. You're missing one day, but that's not the end of the world. And the next day I felt fine. I felt fine the next day. And I just missed one day and I went the next Saturday and everything was great. So you don't want to break the chain because you're establishing an identity, the identity of someone who consistently is invested in their Nikken business. If you can't do 60 minutes for some reason, if you're on vacation, or if you have something going on, a family event or something's happening, and you want to do a power 30, the minimum standard, that can still be okay. Or a power 15, that can be an emergency version. But as soon as you're able to go back to a daily power hour, you want to get back to that. And again, 60 minutes is kind of the minimum. You can do more than 60 minutes. But a power 30 could be 2 minutes of mindset, 3 minutes of planning, 12 contact, 12 follow up, 1 minute of celebrate. And a power 15, a minute of mindset, 2 minutes of planning, six of contacting, five of following up, 1 minute of committing. You want to maintain your identity, your sense of who you are, even if it means reducing a little bit the amount of time that you are investing. So tonight, this is what I'm going to ask you
Almost
to
done.
work on. Tonight, choose your power hour time for tomorrow. So tomorrow, what part of the day is your power hour going to happen in? And again, if you choose to spread it throughout the day, that's fine also. It doesn't all have to happen at the same time, but maybe loosely map out when your power hour will take place tomorrow and write down somewhere my power hour starts at or my power hour begins at least choose the time that you'll begin it. For me, when I put on my shoes, when I come home from work and I change out of my dress shoes into my gym shoes, I'm going to the gym. I have my gym shoes on. I'm not taking my gym shoes off and getting into bed. That's like a total defeat. So if I put my gym shoes on, it's happening. So if you start your power hour with your mindset, it is probably going to unfold. So at a minimum, write down when your power hour will start tomorrow. Place your end in mind tool where you'll see it daily if you're using a life cycle plan or a vision board. If you have a PowerPoint like Miranda does that you're looking at on a regular basis, make sure that you're seeing your visual tool or that you're saying your affirmations out loud. Make sure that you have set or set before the night is over your PPV, PGPV, and miles targets for this month. And remember, I do my power hours 6 days a week. Or if it works better for you and your business, five is acceptable. But 5 to 6 is really what you want to do to have that consistent behavior happening. Paula,
Can you share your slides that you have during this call?
yes, I will put these slides in Core Consultant just when this
Thank you.
call ends. You're very welcome. So, um, one last concept, one last idea to cover before we finish tonight. If you have not chosen an accountability partner, consider getting someone who's in your upline, your downline, cross line, someone in your group, someone you see regularly on NECAN calls, and consider working with that person as an accountability partner on a weekly basis. I know some people check in daily. Some people check in more often than that. Um, we have accountability partners who do talk every single day. If it's not a verbal conversation, they have a text. And share with your accountability partners your commitments for the week, if you're doing it on a weekly basis. Share with them what you did during your power hours. If there's a challenge you faced or a win that happened, you can share that with them and tell them about a next step. And a great question to ask your accountability partner: what did you commit to for this week? What did you do? What did you do last week? So having some accountability for that. So I'll post the slides in our WhatsApp chat. Really, I'm excited to see all 33 of us on this call tonight together in Costa Rica, plus two more that you bring with you, 100. And we won't limit it at 100. If we have 150 people who join Team Ambassador, we'll take 150 people with us, and it's going to be super fun. It'll be a super fun experience. So let's work together. Let's put in our daily power hour, an hour a day, 5 to 6 times a week. Let's set our goals. Let's track our habits, and let's make amazing happen. We are going to be in Costa Rica together in 2027. Your identity will help you to create your habits and to create results. So thanks everybody for joining us tonight. Our next Club Pura Vida will be at the beginning of March. We'll look and see how February went, and we'll set new goals for March. We'll talk about some new ideas, some new concepts that might help you as you work and move forward. Thanks again, everybody. Have a great evening.